Vegas, baby.
Love it when it's forward, love it when it's fast, love it when the leaders call, pack is moving fast, love it when they make you lots and lots of noise, can't wait to hear the W say.
Boogity, 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 Viva Las Vegas, boys racing!
Oh yeah!
This is home track for the two Busch brothers.
Oh, there goes Jeff.
That could have been disastrous.
That's the hardest I've ever hit.
Carl Edwards will go to victory lane.
Way to go, Carl.
Love it when it's forward, love it when it's fast, love it when the leaders call, pack is moving fast, love it when they make it lots and lots of noise, can't wait to hear the W say.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Let's go racing, boys.
Kansas trying to be the first driver to win the first 3 in a row.
NASCAR on Fox. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're north of the famed Strip, and it's hot and happening. Beautiful weather, temperature in the 70s and no rain in the forecast. 140,000 fans expected, and you have a great view as well. More than 6 decades of racing. There have been 2,845 drivers in NASCAR, but today, only one can make history. Who will provide the greatest challenge for Matt Kenseth? In our Hollywood Hotel and Casino, located trackside, it's where America gathers every weekend for racing. We're glad you're with the gang, Chris Myers, and we're all here excited. The Vegas effect has hit a little too hard. Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Hammond. Hey, I thought there was only one king in NASCAR.
You're riding with him, baby.
And welcome to the Heartbreak Hotel.
The Heartbreak Hotel. Yeah. All right, table for one. All right, a couple of storylines we're watching. Matt Kenseth here in Vegas. He's raced here 9 times. He's finished, completed 99.9% of his laps. Can Matt Kenseth do it? No driver in history has won the first 3 races. He's won here twice before. Carl Edwards won here last year. He'll start 16th as he tries to win a pair of Vegas races. And Jimmy Johnson, his troubles at Daytona and Fontana and the last trip here, but he did win 3 in a row in Vegas. 7. Dale Earnhardt Jr. struggling in Daytona and Fontana, but maybe his luck will turn. The 88 will come. Vegas' own Kyle Busch wins the pole, but he has to start from the back of the pack because of an engine change. And in an unrelated case, some of the Toyotas from Michael Waltrip's racing in the Red Bull team, they've had to change engines this week, and they'll start from the back of the pack as well. Well, the race is a little bit longer here in Vegas, still not as long as the 500 miles we've seen for the first 2 races this year. Now you look like yourself.
Yeah, now we're out of costume. Or maybe we're in costume.
You're in costume. They have not left the building. We were hoping you would with Elvis. We kid. Yeah. Hey, the engines, have they straightened the problem out here? I know you were down in the garage snooping around.
Unfortunately, we don't know yet, Chris. I mean, really, this is one of those kind of lingering situations right now that Toyota has. Kyle Busch already blew an engine for Joe Gibbs, but they didn't change the engine in the 2 Gibbs cars. But everybody else who has a Toyota, Darrell, they changed engines.
Yeah, they got something going on in the camshaft area.
Drivers trying to figure out the Matt Kenseth start. He hasn't dominated, but he has won, Darrell. But what about this track and trying to get used to what's happening here?
Well, they reconfigured the track, so it's got a lot more banking in ahead. This is the second year we raced here. This year it's even different. We got a longer race by 18 laps. They've got a new tire here this year that's giving the cars a lot of grip. So we got a fast track. We got new tires. We got a race that's a little bit longer. I don't think anybody has any real history as to how this race is going to go down today.
All right.
Strategy, my friend. It's going to all come down to strategy.
Yeah, definitely strategy. All right. What is it?
Well, we'll figure it out. Let's bring in the guys who, along with Darrell, will call the race today. Larry McReynolds, Mike Joy, and gentlemen, Kyle Busch, because of those problems going back. But how long do you think he's going to stay back there and be able to work his way up front?
Oh, for about 2 hands, about a New York minute. We know Kyle Busch is fast. We know Matt Kenseth is capable of winning this race. And because of what happened to Kyle, they're both going to start out back and work their way to the front, as you said. But here you make a lot of your own luck and strategies involved, Larry, when it comes to pit road. The strategy and the game plan for these 2 drivers couldn't be more different.
Well, even though Kyle Busch has to go to the rear of the field, he still gets all the accolades that goes along with sitting on the pole. He gets that last pit position, leaving pit pit road. So all that team has to do when they finish their pit stop is move just a little bit ahead. They win the battle off pit road. The other end of the spectrum, though, the second pit box coming in, that's where Matt Kenseth had to pick because of qualifying 40th, because you pick your pits by how you qualify. But that's not unusual for the 17 team. I talked to them this morning, and they told me, Larry, we know we have to make a difference on pit road. If you go back to last week's race at Auto Club Speedway, they made a difference. But I think the one thing, Matt Kenseth is used to starting back there. He knows you have to be patient. Like Darrell told me yesterday, you can't use the two words Kyle Busch and patience in the same sentence. That could be the key right there.
He'll need a little patience today working his way to the front, Chris, but I got a feeling both those drivers are going to get there and before too long.
All right, of course, second straight race. The guy who won the pole isn't starting on the pole, and no pole sitter has ever won this race in Las Vegas. But how about a guy like Matt Kenseth? He's comfortable coming from back of the pack, right?
Oh, yeah, he could set a record, another record today by starting the furthest in the field. He starts 40th. So he could break another record today by coming from the furthest in the field.
No problem for him.
All right, a lot of history on the line in Vegas. Last week, Kyle Busch made history, winning two of NASCAR's National Touring Series races on the same day, but he finished third in the Cup race. Came in first as a wingman this weekend. After winning the pole, he stepped in as the best man for a couple who got married here at the track in Vegas. But we all know that Kyle's specialty is behind the wheel.
And here comes Wild Thing, Rowdy Busch.
Las Vegas Motor Speedway is home track.
I would put money on him every week.
If he can lead every lap of this race, he will.
They're gunning for this guy.
Still the sport's hottest
He is
driver.
picking them up and laying them down.
It's time for Rowdy to get rowdy in victory lane.
And we welcome the driver of the 18 M&M's car, Kyle, with us live down on the track. And thanks, Kyle, for your time. Hey, do you have a strategy here, working your way through the pack on this particular track?
Well, I think the strategy is just going to be to try to pass one by one if possible, get up through there somehow, some way, and end up getting towards the front and trying to be there at the end, lead that last lap.
Hey, Kyle, it's DW. I talked to a former teammate of yours this week, and he had some pretty interesting things to say about you. Listen to what Jeff Gordon had to say.
I only wish that I could measure my talent up against his. His talent is beyond anything I've ever seen. On his days with that he's out front and that car's right, there's nobody going to catch him.
That's pretty high praise from a four-time Sprint Cup champion. What do you got to say about that?
It is very high praise, and especially coming from Jeff, who's been one of my heroes. I mean, it means a lot. So, listening to the piece that they had on NASCAR Race Day on Speed today with Ray Evernham, Ray Evernham told Jeff Gordon after winning the 97 Daytona 500 that he was the best racing driving talent that he's ever seen. So, to have Ray Evernham tell Jeff, to have Jeff say that about me, it goes in circles, but it means a lot. It's cool.
The thing is right now, Kyle, yesterday during the nationwide race, it looked to me like this racetrack is really, really treacherous
look like
and
I had
tricky.
very much talent yesterday, did it?
Talking about the racetrack itself, I mean, can we expect that from the track here today? I mean, it looks like it's such a fine line right now.
Well, it is, and I think that's just those cars. It's this tire for this car on those cars, and it's just not made right for those cars. So I think that's the main reason for it. These cars are heavier, so they throw the car into the ground more. They're on the bump stops, so they're harsher on the tires already. With the rear steer that you've got to put in them, they're harsher on the right rear tires. So that's why they've had to make this tire last, is for the COT. And being that the car now weighs 3,500 pounds instead of the nationwide car 3,400 pounds, the forces are different and everything's always different. So, that tire is just a lot looser, and the cars on new tires on full of fuel with the rear weight that they have, they're just really hard to drive. And so today I don't foresee you seeing those issues. I think the cars and everything will be okay today. I don't think that the air will mean as much back in the pack. It definitely out front. I mean, we see it every week that the guys first, second, third, fourth, they'll really haul the mail out front. But, back in traffic, it'll sort of be the same for everybody.
Finally and quickly, home track, Vegas, when you get behind the wheel, does it matter at all, or is it just another race out there?
To me, it's just another race. I mean, yeah, we'd love to win this thing. It's probably as big as the Coca-Cola 600 to me. I mean, the Daytona 500 is the first one, the Brickyard 400 second, Coca-Cola 600 would be third, so, the Vegas race would be put right with that.
All right, thanks for your time. Good luck today.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
We'll watch him in the 18 M&M's car.
Good luck, Kyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
He gives a good little strategy map out. We'll be watching, and we have 4 pit bosses to help us cover pit road, and that's always entertaining in Vegas. Dick Bergman, Steve Burns, Matt Yoakum, and Chris Devoda. Today,
freezing me to death.
Today we'll see if the legend of Drew Blickensderfer continues to grow. The 32-year-old in his first year as a Sprint Cup crew chief, and I know it's early, but he's a perfect 2 for 2. And remember, his driver Matt Kenseth didn't win a race at all last year. And the winning word in last year's National Spelling Bee was Gurdon, G-U-E-R-D-O-N, and it means a reward. That's about as hard to spell as Blickensderfer.
Here we are in the Neon Garage area trying to figure out the mystique around this new crew chief who could make history, this Drew Blickensderfer. And when you want the answers to something, the best place to go is into the garage. They're the guys who really know what's going on. With Greg Zipadelli, how about this what's his name, Derfer, whatever, the crew chief that's won the first 2 races?
I feel good there's somebody else in here that everybody has a problem with spelling their last name or pronouncing it. I've known Drew for quite a while. I mean, I remember when he worked at PEI and he was a tire changer over there. So, you know, it's a lot of fun to get to see those guys, you know, come up through the ranks and earn the respect, and they deserve what they get.
This Drew Blickensderfer guy, he's 2 for 2. I mean, you're happy for him, but enough already, right? I mean,
oh yeah. I told him when we got here on Friday, he needs to start taking it easy on us.
Can you spell Blickensderfer?
I have trouble spelling my own name sometimes.
But only if I can look at this cheat sheet here. But I think that's worse than Zipadelli. Yeah, for sure.
No, I ain't got a clue. Wouldn't even try.
Well, it's Blink, B-L-I-N-K. It's not.
Oh, it's not B-L-I-K?
It's B-L-I-K. It's not B-L-I-N-K. See, that's the first way I massacred it was Blickensderfer.
That's right. You're his boss.
It's Blickensderfer.
You want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
All right.
W-I-N-N-E-R.
There you go. That's the easy way out.
That's the easy way out, isn't it?
All right, so far nobody's been able to spell Blickensderfer. Before we wrap this up, I just want to see if we'll take one more shot at this. Excuse me, sir. Could you spell, Blickensderfer?
Hey, Chris, just call me Drew.
You got it.
Well, he is that did spell winner.
You know what? I read Matt Kenseth. He's not a pushy guy on the racetrack, but he pushed Jack Roush to get Drew to be his crew chief, and that he had a lot of. He felt like he and Drew had a lot in common.
I think the key thing right now is what this guy has brought to the table, guys, has to be the motivation of this team overall. I'm talking about from the pit crew. He's got his driver fired up. I believe he's got everybody right now thinking that they're invincible, and so far they have been.
And I don't know how to spell his name, but here's a word he needs to look up: H-U-B-R-I-S.
Not humorous. But Jack Roush did say we needed a coach kind of guy, and it freed up Chip Bolin to spend more time getting the car ready. So the team thing has worked really well.